Hey guys, Gregory Dixon, the go-to guy. Give you guys a few minutes to come on in. You tuning in, tapping in. We got Marvin Gaye in the background saying "Save the Children." I think that's appropriate. This is the election edition. We're gonna get this camera right. We're gonna get the camera right for you guys. All right. Am I right? As you can see in the background, Gregory Dixon, the go-to guy for all things real estate in Southern California. Let me move a little bit, get it right for you. All right. This is the Wealth Mastery Podcast, and today is our election edition. As you know, tomorrow is Super Tuesday. It is election time in the United States of America. Tomorrow is the presidential election. However, depending on where you live, there may be some big issues on the ballot regarding your local, state, and federal officials and measures and policies and agendas and things like that that you need to pay attention to. You definitely need to pay attention to those things because most people don't understand. Let me first say this. This is the election edition 2024, but I'm not here to tell you how to vote. I am encouraging you to vote, but I'm not telling you how to vote. That is your inalienable right to vote. You have a right to vote, so get out and exercise it. And if you don't vote, you cannot complain, as they say. Now, most people need to understand how elections work. It's three levels at play at one time. You got local, state, federal. Federal is the presidential race between former President Donald Trump and current Vice President Kamala Harris. That's the presidential race. Now, on the federal level, you may be voting for your state. You may have a state senator. You may have some judges and things like that. On your local level, you may have some people trying to get elected. You'll have a lot of measures and things that are trying to get passed or get a vote on your local level. And a lot of times your local level is going to affect you faster. You'll see things that you vote for on the local level take effect a lot quicker than things on the federal level, right? And especially on the national level. Your local level is going to impact you immediately. It's effective to you where you're at. You know, the federal level, that's the United States of America. You're choosing the president, United States of America, right? Whoever's running for something in your immediate area, that's your local level. And that you really want to pay attention to those things. Measures get passed. People don't know who to vote for, what to vote for, why to vote. And a lot of times people get caught up in voting for people just because of name recognition. Billions of dollars, guys, listen to me. Billions of dollars are put behind politicians. You have to understand, politicians are selected before they're elected, meaning that that party that politician is from selects the person who they feel will have the best chance of winning the race. The politician is selected first by a certain party, and they say, okay, we got this person, we can put our money behind them. This person will push our agendas and things like that. Don't think that because that you see one person that it's one person. A lot of people get that confused when it comes to elections, especially in the big elections when you're looking at uh, the presidential races and stuff like that. All of these people have a team behind them. These people, they're called advisors. They write out scripts. They go out and say they take all kind of polls during the year. They have all types of think tanks that tell them what buttons to push, what things to talk about, what things to stay away from, and that's what happens. Um, I'm gonna show you how that works. Right. At first, the presidential election was going to be between former President Trump and current President Joe Biden. They had a debate. Joe Biden did horrible. There's no other way to describe it. So horrible that the people behind him felt he was no longer a viable candidate to win, right? And former President Trump's people were pushing for more debates, more debates. We got him on the rope. Let's knock him out. He showed horrible. We got him. Even if it wasn't the case, they pushed all type of buttons to influence how people think, saying that the man was too old. And I don't think former President Trump and current President Biden are that far apart in age. I'm pretty sure former President Trump is in his 70s and Joe Biden is older, I know. But they press it like, oh, he don't have it mentally. And so they wanted more debates to try to expose it and exploit that. That's the team behind the candidate that they've selected, putting their best foot forward to win. Now, so what happened was the team behind Biden said, you know what? This doesn't look good. We can't recover from this. We can't win. So we got to have a meeting and effectively, whether you want to say force them out or coerce them or ask them nicely, could you please step down? We need some new energy. Okay. President Biden obliged and stepped aside. They pushed Vice President Harris and pair her against Trump, right? Trump team thinking it'll be some more of the same thing, had a debate with Harris. And I think former President Trump underestimated Harris, former prosecutor, person who argues for a living. And let's be clear, a debate is only a televised, how can I say it? A televised, scripted argument. You get to argue, you got time. But former President Trump was going against a person who argues for a living in a political sphere. President Trump doesn't come from a political sphere, he comes from a business sphere. And he doesn't have to argue because you got enough money. He who has the gold makes the rules. So in that debate, it was the opposite effect. His showing was horrible against her. His showing was amazing against Biden. Showing was horrible against Harris. So what did they do? Okay, let's fall back. The team, again, the people behind the candidates making the decision, hey, listen, we're not going to debate anymore because they saw something. The team behind former President Trump saw something. They say, okay, he doesn't do well in debate against Harris, but Harris doesn't do well in interviews. Trump does great in interviews where he can sit down and have a conversation. He does great. Harris, not so well. He's stronger in that aspect as she's stronger in the debate aspect. So now it's like, okay, we just gonna play to our strengths. So the Trump team doubles down on live interviews. And anytime he has an opportunity to talk, he's talking, and they're raising money because it takes a lot of money to run for president of the United States. We're talking about billions of dollars. That's why you have so many people that may have been viable other candidates, like Kennedy. Kennedy stepped down, in my personal opinion, he sold out. He's betting his money on Trump. He's thinking that, okay, if Trump wins, Trump has already promised him a position in the cabinet, right? So he comes out with, okay, all the people that was going to vote for me, I want you to vote for Trump now. So he's betting on Trump, right? And Harris Kemp didn't offer Kennedy a position, right? Then we had the only other viable independent candidate was Dr. Cornel West and his running mate. Then you get into money. They don't have the ability to raise the type of money that it takes to compete, even though they may have a better platform. They may have a platform more concerned with the general public. But when you get on this level, it's about how much money, because it takes, when I say it takes, we're talking billions of dollars. And the average, this is something else you have to understand about politics. The average campaign contributor who contributes to a campaign, the average American is only contributing $10 to $20. So how do they raise millions and billions of dollars? Because outside interest comes in and donates the 100,000, the millions. You take an Elon Musk who says, I'm gonna donate millions to former President Trump, which is his right to do. It's his money. He donated how he want to donate it. And then you got people on the other side who raising millions of dollars for Harris. So these, and the way I'm gonna tie this into you, because there's what's called lobbyists. These lobbyists are people who go to Washington on, let's say, a corporation's behalf, and they want certain laws or certain assurances that if this candidate gets in office, they're gonna vote this way. That's why let's say the tobacco industry, the cigarette industry, right? Think about this. If you pick up a pack of cigarettes, there used to be a long time ago when cigarettes say this product may cause infertility, birth defects, whatever, right? Now the pack of cigarettes say this product will cause death, right? How is it possible to sell a product, to mass sell and mass produce a product that says on the actual packages, this product will cause death? Because those are huge corporations that give tons of money to lobbyists, and these lobbyists go to Washington and say, hey, we need you to vote like this. That's why you'll never see the tobacco industry affected by whoever's the president, because they're going to pay. You'll never see, I know we have an issue with guns and people being killed by guns, but the National Rifle, the NRA, and people like that, well, lobbyists, they're gonna put that money together and go see and the lobbyists is gonna go to Washington and they're gonna get what they want, and they do that every election, and it's been going on like that since the beginning, right? So you're not gonna see any changes in the gun laws. I'm telling you, as much as you feel is needed, and it should be regulated better, but they're going to uphold that amendment to bear arms, and they're going to put enough money behind whoever's in office. They're going to bring enough money to where they are not going to go against that. The NRA has a ton of power. That's big tobacco. They call it big tobacco. All of these people have lobbyists, right? I'm gonna name a few organizations that contribute millions upon millions, and this is why they will get everything they want. Big tobacco, right? The tobacco industry, big pharma, the pharmacy industry. Oh my goodness. Billions of dollars was made during COVID to, in the end, come out and say the drugs may work, may not work. Big pharma. They contribute big billions. The LGBTQ community contribute millions and billions of dollars, right? So you got big tobacco, big pharma, the LGBTQ community, the Anti-Defamation League, the Jewish organization with their lobbyists that go to Washington and really dictate politics. They really put the squeeze. That's why it's going to always be money for Israel. I don't care if Israel bombs Palestine into oblivion. That Jewish mafia, that Jewish lobby that goes to Washington, they dictating policy. The money is dictating policy. Major corporations, the bigger your donation, the more action you get. That's how that works. So these politicians that you're seeing now, they have been selected before you get an opportunity to elect them. And I say this when it comes to voting, know all the facts, know what each politician stands for, what's their agenda, but understand how the political system works. You may have a politician that has some of the best ideas, and I mean, sometimes it's just common sense ideas for what's good for the betterment of the people, the common man, right? In America, the taxation part of America destroys the middle class. The people that are trying hard to make America work, the poor get breaks. The rich get breaks. Everybody in the middle are taxed to death. W-2 employees, you getting robbed. The rich pay less than the poor. Poor pay damn near nothing because they don't have nothing. The rich pay less than the poor. And the middle class are the people that's, I would say, lower middle, upper middle, the whole middle class. Everything between rich and poor. That's who pays. That's who the country runs on. The taxation of those people that's in between the rich and the poor. That's how it works. And that's what it is. The California tax rate is ridiculous. 31%. So even when they say we're going to increase the amount of money a person makes minimum wage, the taxation is so high, I think it's, so if you say 31%, that means if you're paid $10, you really only pay $6.90. So if you pay $20, you really only pay $13.80. You see how that works? So that's the taxation part of it. Now, as I said, a politician can come out there and he tells you everything, he or she tells you everything that you want to hear. They make it sound so good. But then they get the position, whether they be Republican or Democrat. And those two party systems are so divided, even when it comes to what's best for the American people, they won't work together. You can watch this play out and it'll be like, okay, this is best for the American people, but because this team, because they brought it to office, we can't vote for it. Right? And then some of these politicians have been in office so long, they don't have any accountability. They just getting voted in by name recognition. I voted for them last year, so I'm gonna vote for them again this year. We voted for them. This is who we vote for. Or they vote along party lines, which is Democrat and Republican. I'm voting for this person because I'm a Republican. They could be wrong as two left shoes. I'm voting for this person because they're a Democrat. They could be corrupt, horrible. Both parties are corrupt. Ain't no nice way to say it. This election is coming down to who's your guy. If you like former President Trump, there is nothing that could be said about former President Trump that's going to make you vote against former President Trump. All the arguments about he's a convicted felon, which is amazing to me. A convicted felon can run for president, but a convicted felon can't vote. That's something to think about right there. No matter of what former President Trump says or does, if he lies and it's been fact-checked and it's confirmed as a lie, the people that are in support of him are going to that. They're going down with the ship. And the flip side of the coin is it's the same thing for the people who support Harris. If you're a black person and you don't support Harris, you're not black. That's an argument that I've actually heard. She may not be the best, but she's better than Trump. So I've heard the argument of voting for who you feel is the lesser of two evils. Some people, I'm not voting for a woman. And then the flip side of it is, I'm voting for her. I don't care. I don't care what she said. I don't care what happened in the interview. I don't care what she said. I don't care that she said she's not gonna do nothing in that. I don't care how she came off in the interview and laughs everything. I don't care. If that's your person, Harris is your person. And the same with former President Trump. If Vice President Harris is the person that you have made up in your mind to vote for, there's nothing anyone is going to tell you to persuade your choice. Same thing with former President Trump. If your mind is made up, this is your guy, that's who you're going to the polls with. And the chips are going to fall where the chips fall. But I say all that to say this, my fellow Americans, I'm going to tell you something that you do not want to hear. And it's not because it's not true or it's not the right message. You're not going to want to hear this because when I cite the source, you're going to hate the messenger. But I must tell you this. All my brothers and sisters out there, white, black, or candy stripe, you must, in the words of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the great Malcolm X, you must do for self. If you want to be prosperous in this world in your lifetime to make a better life for you and your family, you must do for self. You got to figure it out for yourself. And I've been telling you guys for years, I'm in real estate. That's what I do. That's what I'm known for. I don't discuss politics. I don't discuss religion, especially in an open forum, because I could come with all the facts and all the truth in the world. But your personal feelings, people let their heart supersede their mind when it comes to religion and politics. So we will not discuss that. But you must do for self. That's why I preach real estate. You need to buy you something, even if it's a piece of land with nothing on it. You can't afford the house, buy a parking lot. Can't afford the parking lot, buy a lot where a house burnt down at. If push came to shove, you could put a tent on that lot. You must do for self. You must do for self, brother. You have to put yourself in a position that if COVID taught you nothing else, what would you do if the world shut down? What would you do? What would you do? I'm gonna give you two scenarios, right? I heard former President Trump spoke on that um, he wants to shut down things. He's going China and Mexico because all other countries benefit from America because we are super consumers on a global scale, meaning we don't produce enough here that all these other countries import here and they make money off of us. We have stimulated the economy for so many other countries, for the Chinas, the Japans, the Taiwans, the Mexico, the Chile, the Argentina, places where our electronics, our fruits, our meats, our supplies, our oil, our timber, building supply. We importing everything. We're not producers, we're consumers. Now, President Trump is saying he wants to impose tariffs on these countries that they need to pay us, and he wants to bring jobs here. That sounds amazing. That sounds great. But it also sounds like too little too late. How you going to revive these industries here? Well, we've killed off all the industries here and exported them somewhere else. The industry that the backs of slavery was built off of was cotton. In the South, cotton was king. Now all of your cotton comes from Pakistan, India. If you think I'm lying, take a t-shirt, any t-shirt, go to the inside of it and flip the tag and see where the cotton was produced at. See what it's a product of. I'll wait. Could do it now. Look inside the t-shirt, go to the tag. I guarantee you that cotton did not come from America. Majority of our textiles come from other places. Textiles is what we use to make clothes, upholstery. That's the whole textile industry gone. Whole textile industry gone. Steel, we importing steel from other places, right? You know the oil. We have some of the biggest oil reserves in the world, but we buy oil from other people, right? So when the president says, the former President Trump says if he's elected, he'll impose tariffs on these people. Well, now you're messing with the economy on a world scale, which could cause war, because some people may look at it as a declaration of war, especially at the scale in which he's talking about imposing these tariffs. Not 10%, 100%, 50%. Come on, man. So now, okay, if he imposes these tariffs, right? But these countries have gotten so much money, their economy has been built up so off of our backs as Americans for exporting our jobs. So now we're going to try to bring back the jobs. How? It sounds great. It sounds amazing. It'd be wonderful. Wonderful. But how? It's easy to say one thing, but then I've heard reporters ask former President Trump and current Vice President Harris, when they say things about policy, the question how? They don't have an answer. They don't have a plan in place. Neither one. So, excuse me, I'm going to say it again, brother, sister, white, black, or candy stripe. Do for self. Figure out what it is you need to do for yourself to better you and your family. If you are interested in real estate, I'm doing free real estate classes on Saturday from 8 a.m. from 8:30 to 11:30. No, 8:30 to 10:30. On Saturday, we're doing free real estate class, how to make money in real estate. We're going to go through it, tell you, show you, even give you some resources that you can use to make money in real estate. It's going to be free, right? We do financial literacy. Usually the Wealth Mastery Podcast is a financial literacy podcast, but this is the election edition today, right? Now, we also do business development at Alpha Elite Capital. You're going to have to do something other than work a job if you want financial freedom. And the two best places for tax purposes, because a lot of you people out there work and make a lot of money, but taxes are killing you. And the two best things that get the most tax breaks are real estate and business. You don't believe me? Ask an accountant. Ask a certified public accountant that is up on the current tax laws. What gets the most tax breaks? And they'll tell you real estate and business. Simple as that, right? So now, as far as the election tomorrow, you guys make an informed choice. Vote with your mind, not your heart. And make that choice for what's best for you, your family, and your community. That's been the election podcast today from the Wealth Mastery series. This is the Wealth Mastery podcast, the election edition today. I hope this was informative. I hope you guys got something out of it. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to put them in the type them in, and I'll answer them. Please follow me on Instagram, Gregory Dixon Official, and Alpha Elite Capital on Instagram. TikTok, Gregory Dixon Official, the number 1. Facebook, Gregory Dixon Official. We have 2 Facebook pages. And let's talk about it. Hey, like, share, subscribe. I need 1,000 followers on TikTok to go live. Ain't no way around it. They told me, Greg, you don't have 1,000 followers. We love your content. But you don't have 1,000 followers. So, it's not happening until you get 1,000 followers going live on TikTok. I really would appreciate if you guys like, share, and subscribe to everything I do. And if there's anything I can do to help you as far as knowledge, education, or if you have a question about real estate or business, you can email me, Gregory Dixon at alphaelitecapital.com, or DM me, Gregory Dixon Official. That's on Instagram. You guys have a wonderful day. Be safe out there. Get out and vote tomorrow. Super Tuesday.